Hiya, I'm Jasper, and welcome to your video review for The Magician's Guild. It's a book by Trudy Canavan. So, as always, I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the furry. To start off the furry, it's pretty much in English, but it's a fantasy novel where they have some words swapped out because it's, as far as I can tell, and I'm into the third book, as far as I can tell, it's not set in either past or present or future of our world. So, they have different names for some of the animals and things. So they have different names for like rats and some other vermin type things. So just a couple different names there, and then there's some slang that's thrown around, but I think it's very clear. The slang is not instead of being like, oh, he's a rat, like he's a squealer, it's like, oh, he's a squib. Like, okay, cool, yeah, we understand what that means now. So it's very easy to understand. But as always, now I'm going to get to the good and the bad. I remember reading this book many years ago and was like, oh, this book was great. And I liked the trilogy, and I liked how they implemented the magic in these novels. So I decided to reread the trilogy. I listened to it on Audible for this go round. The narrator, the guy who does the speaking for it, is great. He does enough good different voices, and I like his speed and his cadence and everything else. So really great job for him. However, I did not care for this book. I guess rose-colored glasses make me think it was way better, or maybe I just skipped it in the beginning, because the thing is that this whole thing can be well and truly and adequately and whatnot summarized in just the next in like a few paragraphs spaced out within the beginning chapter or so from the next book. So the next book is called The Novice, and that book is better, but like this book is totally unnecessary. Totally unnecessary. And part of my issue with it is because when it starts off, like very early in the novel, it establishes like, okay, so Sania, our main character, she releases her magic, and then, she's only ever interacted with magicians in a negative way, like they are bad people that do bad things and they're assholes, and they yearly like sweep out the slums, and she's a slum girl, so she doesn't like that they just do this yearly for no reason because they're assholes. And so she somehow unlocks her magic powers, and the magicians are trying to find her. And she's like, oh shit, I don't want to be found because they'll kill me or bad things will happen. So she gets in with the thieves, which are sort of like a nicer mafia, I feel like. And so they're hiding her, right? And that would make a great story. But we also have it from the magician's perspective. And from the beginning, they establish with the magicians that like, oh hey, yeah, there's a couple of assholes, but for the most part, we are very nice, very good, very positive thing in this world. And oh, by the way, when someone unlocks their powers, they don't know how to control their powers, so they will eventually explode and kill themselves and a whole bunch of people in the surrounding area. Like they are essentially a bomb waiting to detonate. So we must find her to teach her control. And so the whole book is just her trying to evade them and them trying to find her, and like the different ways that she's able to evade them, and the different things that they implement to try and find her. And it's like, that's cool, but you know how this is going to end, because we've established that she's an overall good person, the guild is overall good people, they will eventually meet up, and the chase is not interesting enough to fill the entire book, because it does. It fills the entire book, and it's just not interesting enough, because you don't have the tension of, is the guild actually evil? Or will they actually find her? Because, at least in this case, like, I know there's at least 2 more novels. So, I know that she doesn't detonate and kill everyone, right? So, she must end up with the guild. So, it removes a lot of the tension and a lot of the, like, inspiration for continuing to read. And I really do think that you can skip this book, because yeah, there's a couple of things, like a couple of basic things with one of her friends that gets a little bit more fleshed out, but everything that matters is summarized within the first few paragraphs. Like within a paragraph here, there's like a couple sentences, and a paragraph here, there's a couple sentences. But within like the first chapter of The Novice, which is the second book, it takes care of everything from the Magician's Guild. And The Novice, I'm going to say, is an overall better book, but I'll get into that with my review of The Novice later. So, yeah, skip this book because the tension's not there. That's all I have for this one. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you at the next one. Bye.